Thanks to Moondrop, I got a chance to review my first ever wired IEM. This is the Moondrop Aria. This is what the community call the best IEM under $100, but in my review, I want to give it a little twist. I will compare the Aria to my top rated best sounding true wireless earbuds and see how much better these wired options are. But please keep in mind that I'm doing this because I've reviewed so many wireless earbuds. It's good to have them as a point of reference for now because I just started, and if you want me to keep doing it, then I'll do it. But I just want to stress once again, either wired or wireless, they solve two different problems. They have different features that are equally important depending on what you need. So whether it's the best sound quality possible with the wired or the most convenient noise cancelling wireless buds, I hope my reviews could help you make the right decision. With that said, let's roll the intro right now. Selamat pagi! Good morning everyone, Kenneth here and welcome to my review of the Moondrop Aria. As always, full disclosure is in the description, but basically this is sent by Moondrop. I've been using it for months now, so thank you if you've been waiting for so long, but rest assured because you're getting my own honest opinion in this video. Also, affiliate links are down in the description below. Please use it when buying anything to help me support the channel. Now, here's the thing. I said that I'm going to compare this to my top wireless earbuds, but that's not gonna be everything because these past couple months, I've also bought a lot of other IEMs from KZ, Tonchim, Blonde, 10 Hi-Fi, Echo, all because I want to give you a good idea of how the Aria performs compared to the competition in the wired space. Finally, because this is my first review of its kind, please, if there's anything that I missed, if you'd like to see a specific comparison or there is any mistake that I made in this video, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear you out. And without further ado, let's start with the unboxing now, and we'll talk about the build quality and fit. Then finally, we'll get into the sound quality part. Okay, like every other Moondrop product, each model comes with a unique character artwork, and honestly, I'd be lying if I don't love it here. To the back of the box, we've got our frequency response curve, and I'm nowhere near the expert here, but I know that usually a flat, natural target sound curve would look like a flat line from the base all the way to 1 kHz, and then it'll curve up and slowly drop off to the treble end. So based on that info, we can see that the Aria has a good bass boost under 100 Hz, which is absolutely not a bad thing, because for most people, a flat response that I just described will sound quite boring. Then the mid-range is kept pretty flat here, which is good. Vocals and instruments will sound nice and clean. Then on the treble side, we have some peaks around 9 and 14 kHz. This gives a sense of air and openness which works wonders here. We'll talk about this with real songs and comparisons in a minute, but for now, let's continue with the unboxing. So with the paper bit out of the way, we're greeted with some curvy gold on black design, which is what exactly you'll get on the metal build earpieces seated nicely at the top of the box here. The build quality is nothing short of exceptional. There's a beautiful Aria print on the side, it's got a nice weight to it, the shape lets the whole thing sit flush in your ear, and they're very comfortable too, which I'll go into detail in a minute. Taking a look at the inner nozzle, we've got a metal mesh here, but it doesn't end there because Moondrop gives you 6 replacements in the box should you need to change them in the future. And they give you a plastic tweezer to help you with the replacement process too. I tried to take a look inside and it seems like they have 2 filters on by default. First, the fabric layer and then the metal layer. I've heard that the sound could change a bit when you put, let's say, 2 fabric layers instead, or take out the fabric entirely and only use the metal mesh. For me, I don't think my ears are at the level of being able to make out the differences, but you could try that if you want. Now moving on, you also get a very nice fall leather hard case which contains your cable inside. And talking about the cable, these are a simple braided design with metal bits on the chinch, the Y splitter, as well as the L-shaped 3.5mm jack. It's all black, it looks very sleek, and it feels good too. The only thing that I want to say here is when you first unbox it, this cable is gonna be a bit troublesome. It won't easily make a perfect circle because it's been packed inside the small case for a very long time, but just keep on using it and over time it'll loosen up and behave very well, so not a big problem there. Now Moondrop opts for a 2-pin connector here with L and R letter printed, so you'll know which side is which, and connecting the earpiece is a breeze, and I found that they're not too heavy, so when you're walking, for example, the cable doesn't get annoying. There's very little rubbing or tapping sound, and the cinch works well, so you can just do it like that, it stays there. And the only thing to keep in mind is by default there's no microphone here. That is an extra $15 purchase, or you can buy a third-party 2-pin cable with mic too, so it's your choice really. Finally, the rest of the box contains a huge amount of ear tip selection, and I just want to take a second to remind you to try out these different sizes to see which fits the best. It is okay to have different sizes for your left and right ear, and by doing this, you're ensuring that you'll get the best possible sound and noise isolation, which honestly is excellent here. So let's talk about how the earbuds fit now. Honestly, these are some of the most comfortable IEM to wear, and I know I haven't tried much, but the others in my possession has some quirks here and there. Sometimes they hurt after prolonged use, or they require frequent readjustment, they need to be positioned in a specific way. Well, the Aria does not have any of that. You just wrap it around your ear, put it in, and that's it. It stays comfortable even when you're using it for hours and hours on end. Okay, it is finally time to tackle the sound quality now, and to keep things simple, I'm going to only use Apple's Lightning to 3.5mm dongle. Yes, I do have the Shanling UA1, but so far the difference it makes is minor at best, and mostly only within the bass region, and also that's only if I use my Poco X3 Pro, because I have a difficult time telling the difference on my iPhone or Mac. Again, maybe I'm still not trained enough, so I guess it'll come with time. Anyway, starting with the sound signature, Moondrop always follow their own target curve called the VDSF, or the Virtual Diffuse Sound Field. This is going to give you a natural and balanced sound with focus on wide and spacious sound staging. If you watch my review of the Moondrop Sparks, you will know what I mean. Their tuning is simply amazing. It instantly brought the Sparks to become one of the best sounding true wireless earbuds. Seriously. And what about the Aria? Well, it is even better. Even in a simple song like Growing Up by Macklemore, it is immediately noticeable that the detail of everything is brought on another level. So despite having similar tuning and soundstage, the Aria is capable of bringing depth to the music. The most noticeable is the vocal here. It is put much more forward and clearly defined against the instruments and backing vocals playing all around it. You don't feel like the bass or treble is lacking. Everything is in perfect balance. Now, if this is better than the Sparks now, I think it should be clear that this will wipe out the entire wireless earbuds out of existence. But let's just do it for fun, okay? So comparing this J-Rock song from Yorushika, the Soundpeats True Engine 3 SE doesn't sound as defined. And the main cause is the boosted bass that muddies the little intricacies you get from the vocals, the guitars, and especially the drums, like how the sound changes from hitting the bell, the bow, or the edge of the right cymbal. You can hear the differences much more effortlessly on the Aria. Now, my longtime favorite, the Feel T1 Pro, brings the upper mid-range on a female vocal much better, but it's still far from being a match to the Moondrop Aria. The bass still kind of feels like muddying the details of everything in general. There's less body to the vocals overall. The Aria has a much better detail retrieval, so you can hear the singer, the bass, the guitar, the drums. They each have their own space. They have their own micro details, unaffected whether the song gets crowded or not, and it's something you never truly get with wireless earbuds in general. And that's true no matter how much you spend. What you see right here is Sony's latest and greatest, the WF-1000XM4, and with the default tuning, the vocals feel pale, almost like the life has been sucked out of it. But I have to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of the default tuning. Fortunately, the sound is EQable, so with a little tweaking, boosting the upper mids and the treble, I'll talk about that more in the full review, the Sony is picking up a good fight. Vocals almost got the same energy as the Aria. The separation between instruments are very close now, so much better than my budget favorites, but the treble still has a hint of being covered by the bass. So overall, the Aria still sounds cleaner and more alive. And most importantly, this is only less than a third of the Sony's price. So that's really what you get from focusing just on the sound quality alone. Now, let's talk about how the sound compares to the wired competition, and I'm just gonna quickly brief you through it. We've got the KZ EDX here, an ultra budget $5 earbuds that blows my mind with its sound quality. There's Tin Hi-Fi T2 Plus as one of the best IEM under 60 bucks. I also had the chance to try out IEMs OH1S, which is 200 bucks, so very expensive, but it's got an even better sound than Aria, which is nuts, and also some more earbuds that I'm going to mention quickly later. Anyway, let's take Hotel California by Eagles to compare these wired IEMs now. A quick reminder, I only use the Apple dongle here, which means I cannot take full advantage of the high-res lossless quality, but for now, we'll make do. So starting with the KZ EDX, this one sounds like a true wireless earbuds KZ would make, which means the Aria has one huge advantage: the soundstage. The KZ makes everything feels like coming from dead center despite having good detail retrieval and a very fun sound signature, but the situation is similar with the Blonde BL03 or Tanjin Tanya. Usually, soundstage is the limitation when you're on a budget wired IEM. But now moving up to the $60 price tag, the Tin Hi-Fi T2 Plus performed admirably. Overall, the technicality is very close to the Aria, but it still couldn't match the spacious sound staging, especially with a slight emphasis on bass here. The other frequencies don't shine as much as the more balanced Aria. I'm not joking when I say this has the perfect balance. Not only the bass is strong, the vocals are also clear, no matter if it's male or female, and the treble has a sense of airiness and sparkle to it due to the peaks I described to you earlier, and everything just feels so dynamic on the Aria. Finally, this is here just to demonstrate what you will get when you spend more on an IEM. So with the IEMs OH1S here, the focus is on the treble now. This thing is a serious upgrade when it comes to treble detail. The guitar, the hi-hats, even the vocals are so much more focused and cleared up. It makes the already great Aria feels muted and like blurry in comparison, like you're watching a standard definition and comparing it to a full HD. That's just how much detail it brings. It's crazy, but the thing is, the Echo is like a specialized earbuds. Not everyone is gonna like the treble focus tuning. I think a lot of people will just say this is straight up harsh or piercing, whereas the Aria is just appealing for basically everyone. It works with a lot of genres. So stay tuned for the Echo review and also all the other IEMs I just mentioned here. Recently, Moondrop also just released a very interesting model called the Moondrop Kato, and who knows, maybe it'll take this amazing Moondrop sound quality up to the next level, maybe even better than an Echo. So let me know if you want to see a video on that. Okay, that pretty much wraps up my review. I hope this video helped you out, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Kenneth, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.